Now, I'll start with the first question. As we all know, I've personally witnessed that a lot of students struggle in deciding whether they should give a single group or both the groups for intermediate examination together. What's your take on this, speakers, and how should a student solve this dilemma?
Thanks to Aspire for providing me this opportunity, sir, to express my views. See, this is the biggest dilemma. In fact, आप मुझसे पूछोगे, मेरे को भी ये dilemma था जब मेरा फाउंडेशन एग्जाम क्लियर हुआ था, सिंगल ग्रुप दूं या बोथ ग्रुप्स दूं. ये कॉमन वो है dilemma, हर बच्चे के माइंड में आता है जब वो अपना फाउंडेशन पास करके इंटरमीडिएट में आता है. सी गाइस, अगर आप बोथ ग्रुप्स देते हो तो देयर आर न्यूमरस बेनिफिट्स. सर, व्हाट आर द बेनिफिट्स? आई विल एक्सप्लेन टू यू. See, there is a high chance of getting a rank. You might get a rank of all India rank 1, 2, or no. There is a benefit of set off. That's the most important advantage of giving both groups. Set off. What is this set off? See guys, if you have scored 190 marks say in group 1, and let's say you have scored 210 marks in group 2, then these 10 marks will get carry forward to group 1, and your both groups will be passed, and you will so-called CA finalist. So फिर तो सबको both groups जी नहीं, both groups देने के ना कुछ disadvantages है. अच्छा, वो क्या? I will explain it to you. See, CA intermediate का सब बहुत vast है. There are lot of numerous accounting standards, auditing standards, lot of sections, clauses and all. So it creates a actually क्या होता है, बट बहुत ज्यादा हाई प्रेशर क्रिएट हो जाता है. क्यों? इतना सारा सिलेबस है, 9 months में आपको कंप्लीट करना है. तो बेसिकली व्हाट आई वुड से, माय जेन्युइन एडवाइस इज स्टार्ट. जब आप फाउंडेशन आपने पास किया है, सबसे पहले आप इंटरमीडिएट में ग्रुप 1 की कोचिंग से स्टार्ट कीजिए. ठीक है, अगर ग्रुप 1 की कोचिंग आपकी सपोज इन केस यू आर हैविंग नवंबर अटेम्प्ट है, मिड जून तक कंप्लीट हो गई, अपने आप को इवैल्यूएट कीजिए. देखिए, अगर आप कॉन्फिडेंट है, आपने रिगार्डिंग 70% सिलेबस आपने कर लिया है, देन आप सोचिए कि आपको बोथ ग्रुप्स देने चाहिए आगे या नहीं देने चाहिए. हाँ, अगर आप कॉन्फिडेंट है कि हाँ यार 70% सिलेबस तो हो गया, देन आई वुड से डेफिनेटली गो फॉर बोथ ग्रुप्स. और अगर आपका मे अटेम्प्ट है तो अगर सेम स्ट्रेटेजी अप्लाई होती है यहाँ पे भी. आप अपने जो है मिड ऑफ दिसंबर तक आपका सिलेबस कंप्लीट हो जाता है ग्रुप 1 का, देन गो फॉर बोथ ग्रुप्स. Thanks. I would like to express other co-speakers to express their views on this topic.
Hi everyone, welcome to our session. And before I give my views on this thing, I just wanted to say that in case you have any thing you want us to discuss, you can put it on the chat box, and we'll be picking up questions from there. Talking about whether we should give both groups or not, I completely agree with what Ishant has said, and he said everything very wholesomely. One thing I wanted to add is that we sometimes feel if giving both groups is I want to make sure that you guys know that there are some disadvantages, and the biggest one is not preparing for both groups, but it is actually sitting and giving those exams together in those 16 days. The biggest problem that I faced during my both groups was not that I was studying for 1.5 years, but actually those 16 days you have to go through a lot because you're giving exams one after the other, and you do not get any space to even breathe for a minute. So when you're preparing for it and when you're deciding this thing, you should also mentally prepare yourself that 16 days or 17 days of giving exams together one after the other is a big task. Okay. Secondly, you should also think that if you're aiming for Big Four for your articleship, giving both groups gives you an advantage, and it plays a very important role in your selection there, because it's something that is not said aloud, but it is a bitter truth that yes, Big Four prefers rank holders, and then they prefer students who've cleared both groups together, right? And the third thing that I wanted to just add to what Ishan said was that it doesn't matter if you're giving both groups or not. What matters is that whatever you're studying, you have the peace of your mind and you're able to do that. Okay, do not come in the pressure or do not listen to people as to whether you should give first group or both groups together. It is totally dependent on you, and it doesn't matter. Every person is different. Every person has a different capacity, and it doesn't matter that someone you know is giving both groups, but you cannot give it. Do not come into the pressure of giving both groups because someone else is also giving it. And before I could ask other people, other panelists here to speak about this thing, I would just say that in case you've decided, this is my personal opinion, okay, but in case you've decided that you want to give both groups, because yes, there are a lot of advantages, like getting a rank is a very big advantage, And if you've decided you want to give both groups, then you can also look at giving the exams in 15 months rather than in 9 months, because 9 months is not a very long period to give both groups. There are 8 papers, however, there are 11 subjects, and there are subjects which are so vast and so big in itself. And with your videos and your pen drive classes and self studies with papers and everything. So if you've made up your mind that you want to give both groups, then maybe you can think about giving it in 15 months rather than in 9 months. So that would be all from my side. I would ask others to give their inputs in this.
Yeah, am I audible? Yeah, okay. So I'd like to tell, it's very well explained by my co-panelists before me. So I'd like to, condense it all over. First of all, it has to be seen case to case basis, right? Check it for each and individually, every person, whether they can give both groups together. In my opinion, I look at exams as a pain more than a pleasure. So for me, as fast as the pain gets over, it's good for me. So that's why I'd suggest people to give both groups together, because with all the benefits also, the whole thing gets over faster. Having said that, the main things that you have to keep in mind before attempting to give both groups is to consider whether you have the time and the energy to do so. If you have your articleship, or you have college or something, then it becomes really difficult to keep up with both college, articleship, and your studies. So if you have the time, you have the effort, certainly go for 2 groups. It has a lot of advantages. But otherwise, you can always give the exams group by group, and group by group has a greater success rate than giving together. So I feel you have to assess yourself and see if you have the required time and effort to get clear in the first shot. Keshav, do you want to add?
Yeah, I will just say one thing. Like you three have mentioned all the major points, but I would like to say one thing only, कि बस ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि both groups देने हैं इसलिए तुम डेफर किए जा रहे हो. I have a friend जिसको मेरे साथ नवंबर में देना था, एंड उसका अभी तक सीए इंटर का एक भी ग्रुप क्लियर नहीं हो पाया. तो ये चीज ध्यान रखना कि तुम्हें खाली ये नहीं होना चाहिए कि both groups इकट्ठे देने हैं इसलिए तुम एक भी नहीं दे रहे हो. और उसके साथ क्या हुआ, नवंबर में उसे देने थे, नवंबर में उसकी पढ़ाई नहीं हुई, मई में देने थे, मई में पढ़ाई नहीं हुई, नेक्स्ट नवंबर दिए दोनों में फेल. तो ये चीज ये नहीं होनी चाहिए कि हम बोथ दे रहे हैं तो इसलिए एक भी नहीं निकल पा रहा. और अगर ऐसा होता है तुम लोगों के साथ कि फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट के बाद तुमने बोथ ग्रुप्स दिया और फेल हो गए हो, और ऐसा लगता है अभी तैयारी सही से नहीं है, तो सिंगल दे के निकालो. ये नहीं सोचना चाहिए कि हाँ उसने बोथ दिया है, मैंने फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट में बोथ दिए थे इसलिए मैं बोथ ही दूंगा. मेन थिंग है कि सीए इंटर निकलना चाहिए. ये नहीं तुम इसके साथ ही लगे रहो 3-3 4-4 साल तुम सीए इंटर निकाल रहे हो. क्योंकि एक इंडिया में हो, यहाँ पे एक बहुत मेजर चीज होती है कि एक पॉइंट के बाद तुम्हें छोड़नी पड़ जाती है. सीए जो बहुत सारे लोग करते हैं, तो ये नहीं होना चाहिए. तुम एक करके दे दो, ज्यादा बेटर है. फर्स्ट ग्रुप के बाद अपनी आर्टिकलशिप पे तुम स्टार्ट कर पाओगे, जिससे सीए फाइनल का अटेम्प्ट भी डेफर नहीं होगा. That's all from my side, Riya.
Thank you so much, speakers. I think you have clearly answered the question. Moving on to the next question. So another commonly faced challenge by all the CA students is how they should strategize their study plan. Can you please share your tips on the same?
Okay, so study plan, of course, it's different for every person. Again, so trying to generalize as much as I can. I'd say ideally 3 months before the exam, your coaching should get over. So, I mean, you should finish all your classes, everything that you want, self-study, whatever. So if your exam is in November, I think by August first week, your coaching should get over. After that, you have 3 months remaining. So I followed this plan. For the first one month and 1 week, I finished my first revision of all the 8 subjects, and which is possible if you have concept clarity before. You can easily revise. Study it once in 1 month and 1 week. After that, another 3 to 4 weeks, you finish your second revision. Of course, adjust how much ever you want, or extending or reducing the deadline as you feel appropriate for each subject. But ideally, in those 2 months, you should finish 2 revisions. And then the final month should be completely for your mock test papers and your, improving your mistakes or anything. So the final, I think October, first 2 weeks, give your mock test papers, 1 series at least. You can either follow the timetable of the institute, like, you can give alternate day 1 exam, or you can give 2 exams on one day, whatever you feel is best. So the first 2 weeks, finish your mock test series. After that, 2 weeks remain for the exam. Here you cannot study anything new. You have to keep revising what you already know, and probably improve on the mistakes that you made in your mock test papers. And again, I cannot stress on the importance of giving mock test papers. At least 2 series of mock test papers you have to give. It gives you an idea. As much as you give, it's better for you. So yeah, I think I covered all the points. And again, by this time, if you follow this, you would have finished your revision 4 times. Once in the first month, second month, and then once when you're doing your mock test paper, and when you're revising in the last 2 weeks. So 4 revisions are already done before the exam. Of course, you can adjust as per your timing and your convenience, but this is the broad structure that I follow. So I'd hand over to my co-panelists.
Well, Smagan has well explained to you, but I would like to add that जब आपकी सी इंटरमीडिएट की जब क्लासेस लेगे बहुत से बच्चे क्या गलती करते हो, साइड बाय साइड पढ़ते नहीं है यार, बाद में कर लेंगे अभी तो चल क्लास चल गया ना, मजे मार लेते हैं, क्लास ओवर हो गई 3 घंटे की. दैट्स द बिगेस्ट मिस्टेक यू ऑल गाइस मेक. देखो जब आपकी क्लास चल गया, स्टार्ट स्टडी अलोंग विद क्लासेस के साथ कीजिए. जो भी डेली होमवर्क मिल गया, चाहे 1 क्वेश्चन मिले चाहे 2 क्वेश्चन मिले, मेक इट अ हैबिट कि यार चल 2 क्वेश्चन तो आज कर ही लेते हैं जो होमवर्क में मिल जाए. इससे क्या होगा, आप रेगुलर उस सब्जेक्ट के कांटेक्ट में रहोगे. ठीक है. और जब वीकेंड है, वीकेंड में ऑलमोस्ट सैटरडे संडे तो कोई क्लास होती नहीं थी, जब फेस टू फेस चल गई थी क्लासेस, तो उस टाइम क्या कीजिए, या अब कोविड टाइम चल गया है, अब सारी क्लासेस ऑनलाइन है, एक स्ट्रिक्ट टाइम टेबल बना लीजिए कि इतने से इतने बजे तक ये वाली क्लास लेनी है, इतने से इतने बजे तक ये वाली क्लास लेनी है, उसको स्ट्रिक्टली अदर कीजिए. इससे क्या होगा, आप डिसिप्लिन भी रहोगे, आपका माइंड भी उसी तरह से वर्क करेगा और आप बेटर रिजल्ट्स गेन कर पाओगे. और हर संडे को एक हैबिट बना ही लो, या इस हफ्ते जो भी पढ़ा, मंडे टू फ्राइडे या सैटरडे जो भी आपने पढ़ा, संडे को एक बार जस्ट गो थ्रू कर लो कि यार हाँ ठीक है यार, याद आ गए माइंड में. इससे क्या होगा, जब आप लास्ट 3 मंथ्स रिवाइज करोगे ना, आपको कुछ भी ऐसे लगेगा क्या करूँ, पहली बार बिल्कुल न्यू सा है, तो आपको लगा हाँ यार, एक बार माइंड आपका क्लिक कर जाएगा. ये और मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग जो बहुत से बच्चे मिस कर जाते हैं, वो टीचर्स की बुक रेफर करते हैं. आई वुड से आईसीए का स्टडी मैटिक भगवत गीता है सीए स्टूडेंट्स के लिए, तो 10-15 नंबर का पेपर तो वहीं से लग जाता है. तो आई वुड से जब लास्ट के आपके 3 मंथ्स है, 1 मंथ्स है, तो आप आईसीए का स्टडी मैट के क्वेश्चंस जरूर देख के जाएं, लास्ट के आरटीपी मॉक टेस्ट पेपर, और मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट लास्ट पिछले 2 या 3 अटेम्प्ट्स के पेपर तो हैंड रिटन पूरे आप टाइम बाउंड रहिए, 3 घंटे का पेपर सेट कीजिए, 2 से 5 बैठ के कीजिए. इससे क्या होगा, आप उस एनवायरनमेंट में आ जाओगे जो एग्जाम के एनवायरनमेंट में रहता है. इससे आपको कॉन्फिडेंस होगा, बूस्ट अप होगा, एंड डेफिनेटली यू विल बी स्कोरिंग हाई मार्क्स. दैट्स फ्रॉम माय साइड. आई वुड लाइक अदर को मेंबर्स टू एक्सप्रेस देयर व्यूज ऑन द सेम.
Thank you, Ishant. I feel he has added most of the points. I will now share what was my timetable when I gave my exams. I cleared my exams in 9 months. So I used this method. In the first 3 months, I completed my Group 1 classes, and the next 2.5 months, I cleared my Group 2 classes. We all know that Group 2 is like shorter, so it takes less classes, and subjects like audit and EISSM are like they have classes of about 60 or 65 classes, so you can complete that soon. Okay, and then start revision. So these classes would take about 5.5 months. Then do a revision for like first revision for 7 days each subject, second one 3 days each subject, and last one 2 days each subject. And after every revision, try and give a mock test or pass your ICA exam paper. Like after 8 days, after 7 days, your first revision is complete, and on the last day, give an ICI exam paper. So this will let you know कि तुम्हारी रिविजन कैसी चल रही है और तुम्हें कुछ याद हो रहा है नहीं हो रहा. क्योंकि लास्ट में क्या होता है, जो बच्चे एग्जाम्स नहीं देकर जाते ना, in the last on the exam day they are like blank, and when they are giving exams they cannot recall because उन्हें एक तो हैबिट नहीं होती, और लास्ट में क्या होता है जब पेपर छूटने लगता है ना तो पैनिक हो जाते हैं. तो उस चीज़ की पहले से प्रैक्टिस करके रखनी चाहिए. एक चीज़ याद रखो, हमें यहाँ पे 40 या 60 लेके आने हैं. 100 मार्क्स का पेपर जरूर होता है, लेकिन पेपर देते हुए अगर कभी ऐसा हो कि 10 का छूट रहा है तो उसके चक्कर में 90 का मत खराब करना कभी भी, क्योंकि 90 या 100 नहीं आते किसी के भी यूजुअली. अगर आप नॉर्मल स्टूडेंट हो, ऑल इंडिया रैंक होल्डर हो तो ऑफकोर्स आ जाते हैं, लेकिन अगर मैं नॉर्मल एवरेज स्टूडेंट की बात करूं तो 90-100 सबके नहीं आते. 60 इज अ वेरी गुड नंबर. अपना ये ध्यान रखो कि हाँ 10 का छूट है तो छूटने दो, 90 का जो मैं दे रहा हूँ वो ठीक होना चाहिए. उसके बाद जब अपनी रिविजन्स करो तो एक चीज जो मैंने यूज करी थी, लाइक फर्स्ट सेटिंग अपनी 3 आवर्स की रखो, नेक्स्ट सेटिंग 3 आवर्स की रखो. मतलब जितनी भी देर तुम बैठे तो 3 घंटे से पहले उठना मत. उससे क्या होगा, एक तो तुम्हें 3 घंटे बैठने की आदत पड़ जाएगी, क्योंकि बाद में क्या होता है जब पेपर दे रहे होते हैं एक्चुअली रेस्टलेसनेस हो जाती है, क्योंकि 3 घंटे बैठने की इकट्ठे आदत नहीं होती। तो ये चीज यूज करो। और एक और चीज का ध्यान रखना कि कभी भी ना 2 to 5 में लास्ट 2-3 महीने में सोने की स्ट्रेटेजी मत अपनाना। लाइक तुम इस टाइम पे, मैं 2 to 5 भी नहीं, एक्चुअली 12 to 5 या 6 बोलूंगा, उस टाइम में सोना नहीं है। क्योंकि एक बार वो आदत पड़ जाती है ना, तो एक्चुअली क्या होता है एग्जाम से 2 दिन पहले या एग्जाम वाले दिन ना 12 बजे से नींद आनी शुरू हो जाएगी, 2 बजे पेपर होता है और 1 बजे घर से निकलना ही पड़ता है। तो इस चीज का ध्यान रखना। That will be all from my side, Nishika.
Yes, okay. So I feel like everyone has given their schedules and study plans, and I have a see, you have to understand this thing that even when we are discussing this thing with you guys, it is not a generic plan, right? It is not that one glove fits all. It depends on you how you're making your plan and how you're comfortable doing it. So even I would like to share what my plan was and what strategy I preach and I think that people should do, but obviously it depends on what you're doing. The first thing that before making your plan you should remember is that your videos, and I would say videos because I guess there are no offline classes going on right now and all the classes are online and through pen drive. So you have to focus is that one of the biggest mistakes that students do is that they think that if I complete my pen drive classes and if I complete my videos, then I will start revising. See, this is the biggest blunder you will do in your preparation, and this was the biggest blunder I did when I was preparing for my exams. I thought if my videos are over, then I will, then my syllabus will be done once and then I'll start revising. So like others also said, Avi, right now here is that you're supposed to take both of them together. So what I would suggest is that in case you're going for one group in 9 months, you can, because this is one of the doubts I used to ask my seniors, so I thought I would also address the same thing. Although there is no fixed thing that you should study for these number of hours, but you should start out, try to reach that. I mean, obviously every person is different, but when I'm talking about number of hours, I mean that you should at least watch this amount of videos or this amount of number of hours in a day so that your syllabus, it's easier for you to complete it. So if you're giving one group, I would say that studying for 8 or 9 hours a day is pretty good. But in case you're aiming for 2 groups, then please make sure that you'll have to study for at least 12 hours in a day. And I know it sounds a lot, but 12 hours in a day, since right now pandemic is going on and you have literally nothing else to do. I mean, of course, if someone is sick and someone has they have to take care of, that's an exceptional case. However, 12 hours in a day is something that you should take out if you're aiming on completing 2 groups in 9 months. Secondly, how do you plan it out? So I would say that in your first 6 months, you should focus on giving more time to your pen drive classes, to your Google Drive classes, which means that if in case I'm studying for group 1 and then the ones who are doing group 2, you can just change it according to yourself. So if I'm giving one group, what I do is I study for 6 hours. I take up 2 subjects together. I study for 6 hours. I complete 3 hours one video and 3 hours another subject. And in the 2 hours I'm left, I make sure that I'm revising whatever I have done. Okay, if I don't revise, after 3 months, I will not remember anything that happened in those videos. I will not remember anything that my teacher told me because what happens is that while you're watching the video, you think that, okay, I understand all of this. I'm making my notes. I'm solving my questions. This is great, which is great. However, if you don't revise it, and after 3 months you think that I'm going to open my book and everything is going to flow back to me, it is very, that thing doesn't really happen. So what you do is whenever you're watching your classes, you make it a point that 1 hour after watching those classes, I will revise what I watched. Okay. Secondly, what I would say is that when you're planning your schedule, make sure that you don't have a fluid schedule, which basically means it should not be that I will finish my accounts classes and then I will move on to my cost classes. This is the biggest blunder you can make. You're supposed to have a very rigid kind of schedule. I will finish my accounts in this month, even though it won't get over, and there is a very high chance that you won't be able to finish the entire I wouldn't say syllabus because self-study takes longer, but I'm talking about your videos and your pen drive classes. There's a high chance you cannot complete it. But what happens is, what students do, even what I did, and which was the biggest mistake I made, was I just kept on watching accounts videos till it did not get over and I did not start with the other subject. So when you're making your schedule, don't make it fluid like it depends on your subjects. No, it should depend according to months. This month I'm taking up these 2 subjects and it doesn't matter if I'm not able to complete it this month. Next month I'm going to keep this aside and I'm going to start taking up the next subject. Okay, your your purpose is not to excel in one subject. You have to understand this is not CBSE. You cannot score 100 in 4 subjects and fail in the 5th one and then just think I'll have my best of 4 and I'll get into a college. No, that's not how ICI works. It's better to be average in all subjects rather than having one subject which is strong and one subject where you can barely pass, because you have to understand that all 4 subjects require equal amount of marks. You need to score a 40 and a 60. Having said that, also remember that there is a concept known as strong subjects and weak subjects. Okay, and you might think that your theory is strong, which I used to feel that my theory is strong, but then I realized that theory is a very subjective thing. It depends on the person who's checking it. However, your practical exams are something which is you get step marking, and even if you solve, like, even if you're not able to reach the answer, they will give you marks for it. So that's why you listen to people say that you should focus more on your practical subjects, because while you need 40 marks to pass all your exams, you also need at least 2 subjects or 1 subject which is giving you a 60, so that you reach your 200 mark as well. And that is when your practical subjects help you. So when you're doing everything, make sure that there is a balance. Like, I would just say that, if I'm to make your study schedule, I'll just say that revising, do not keep this thing in your mind that I have to do 4 revisions or I have to do 5 revisions. All you have to make sure is that you're revising it. When we say now you have to do 4 revisions, what does it actually mean? Once you're watching your pen drive classes and you start revising, you're doing a self-study, that in itself is your first revision. That is not your self-study. You've already watched a video, you already know the concepts. Once you start revising with it, it's your first revision. So think about it, that you will be able to do 4 revisions only and only when you start from the very beginning. Okay. Second revision happens in your last month. Third and fourth revision can happen when you're giving exams, but focus on studying along with your videos, because trust me, it takes a lot of time. There are 200 hours of video of each subject. There are 8 subjects, 11, it's not possible for you to finish them all in like 5 or 6 months. So you will always have some amount of hours which are left. So if you just keep on doing that, I will complete my videos and then I'll study, that won't bode well for you. So what I would just like to suggest and what I would just like to add in your study plan is that you should make sure that if you're watching videos for 8 hours, then the next 3 hours you're revising those videos. Otherwise, you won't be able to complete your syllabus on time and you will never be able to remember that thing after 6 months. Okay. And before I finish what I wanted to say, I just have one more thing to add, is that when you're studying 11 subjects or even 5 subjects of group 1, you have to realize that these subjects are very big. Okay. And if I'm studying something, it is very obvious that after a month, even after a week, it is very obvious that you will forget it. So please do not think that, I keep on forgetting this thing, I will have to revise it again and again and again. I've seen a lot of students, even my friends, I've seen them doing this thing, that they think that I studied accounts and after a week I cannot remember this chapter. So they take that up again and they start revising it again. Guys, this is not how it will work. This is not how you study for anything. Obviously, you're going to forget. You're doing different subjects together, and that's what revision is all about. But you don't revise the same subject every week thinking that I have forgotten the chapter and I need to revise it again. You need to move on, right? So that would be all from my side. And Ria, you can take up the next question.